stand up for a moment. Go ahead. I'll wait right here while you do it. Did you pay attention to how your legs felt as you rose? How your balance adjusted slightly? And how your heart rate responded to that small action? It's really quite remarkable when you stop to think about it. Most people move through their daily lives without ever considering how the ordinary foods they eat day after day quietly influence their blood pressure. Right now, there's likely one significant hidden culprit sitting quietly in your kitchen or inside your refrigerator, something you probably consume regularly without giving it a second thought. I'm Dr. So, and for more than 20 years, I've worked closely with thousands of adults, particularly those over the age of 60, who felt deeply frustrated by blood pressure that refused to stay under control. These were individuals who were already doing so many things correctly. They made sure to walk on a regular basis, they followed their prescribed medications exactly as directed, and they avoided the really obvious unhealthy foods. Yet, despite all their efforts, their readings continued to edge upward, month after month, leaving them feeling discouraged, anxious, and uncertain about what else they could possibly do. High blood pressure rarely appears suddenly or without reason. Instead, it develops gradually and silently, built up over time by small everyday food choices that become part of your routine almost without notice. These items appear completely harmless at first. No dramatic symptoms announce their presence, but slowly, steadily, across months and then years, they nudge your blood pressure higher and higher. Over the next 23 minutes or so, I'm going to guide you step by step through my straightforward 5-step fresh protocol. This is a practical, easy to follow approach designed specifically to help you take back better control of your blood pressure. The method is grounded in reliable evidence from respected sources, including guidelines from the American Heart Association, insights from Harvard Medical School, and numerous peer-reviewed studies that have appeared in top medical journals. To help make this conversation feel more personal and relevant to you, please take a quick moment right now and drop your age in the comments section below. Your age matters a great deal here because the way your body handles certain foods changes noticeably, especially once you pass 60. By the time we finish, you'll have a clear picture of which hidden everyday items might currently be pushing your blood pressure upward. You'll understand exactly why these same items tend to affect adults over 60 more powerfully. And you'll discover simple, realistic strategies to reduce their impact without having to completely give up the foods you enjoy. Let's start with one of the biggest and most widespread offenders, sodium. Think of sodium and the way your body retains water in terms of a simple garden hose analogy. Imagine your arteries as the flexible hose and your blood as the water moving through it. When you take in too much sodium, salt, your body responds by holding onto additional water in an effort to dilute that salt concentration. All that extra fluid increases the volume and pressure inside your arteries. Over weeks, months, and years, this repeated extra pressure gradually damages the delicate inner lining of those arteries, causing them to become thicker, stiffer, and far less able to expand and contract naturally. At the same time, excess sodium prompts your kidneys to retain even more water, which further increases overall blood volume and forces your heart and entire vascular system to work harder under greater strain. A well-known Harvard study tracked more than 200 adults across a 5-year period. The findings were clear. Individuals who regularly consumed more than 2,300 milliliters of sodium each day had a 38% higher risk of developing hypertension compared to those who managed to keep their daily intake below the 500 milliliters. A lot of people believe they aren't adding very much salt at the table, and in many cases, that's accurate. The real problem is that sodium sneaks in through so many other sources. Processed meats such as deli slices, bacon, ham and salami, canned soups, bottled sauces and condiments, store-bought salad dressings, and many more packaged items. Even a modest single serving might not seem excessive on its own, but when you add them up across breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, the total accumulates rapidly throughout the day and week. If you've ever experienced noticeable ankle swelling, puffy fingers or hands in the morning, or unexpected short-term spikes in your blood pressure readings, sodium is very frequently one of the main contributors. If any part of this description feels familiar to your own experience, go ahead and type the word sodium in the comments below. But sodium isn't the only hidden factor at play. Another major contributor that often gets overlooked is refined carbohydrates. Things like white bread, pastries, cakes, cookies, donuts, crackers, and especially sugary sodas or sweetened beverages. These foods cause quick, sharp rises in your blood sugar levels, which in turn trigger a large release of insulin. When this pattern repeats day after day over the long term, persistently elevated insulin contributes to hardening of the arteries, atherosclerosis, and encourages the body to retain more fluid, both of which directly drive blood pressure higher. Researchers at Johns Hopkins University followed around 850 adults for a full decade. The results showed that participants who consumed the highest amounts of refined carbohydrates ended up with 52% greater arterial stiffness compared to those who primarily chose whole grains and less processed options. As we get older, the endothelium, the thin, sensitive inner lining of our arteries, naturally begins to lose some of its elasticity and flexibility. You can think of it like a rubber band that has been stretched many times over the years and is now starting to feel brittle and less responsive. In adults over 60, this natural loss of elasticity can be 30 to 40% greater than what is typically seen in much younger adults. When you then add the burden of excess sodium or frequent refined carbohydrate intake on top of that already reduced flexibility, your blood vessels face an even tougher challenge in managing normal blood flow and pressure. There are several other commonly overlooked items that quietly add to the problem. Store-bought salad dressings, especially creamy varieties, pickles and other pickled vegetables, most frozen ready-made dinners, and even some types of cheese that seem innocent enough. These products frequently combine high levels of sodium, hidden added sugars, and less healthy fats all in one package. On their own, any single portion might appear minor and unimportant. But when they appear regularly throughout the week, their combined effect becomes significant, like tiny pebbles gradually collecting inside your shoe. At first, you barely feel them, but after enough steps, the discomfort becomes impossible to ignore. A study conducted at UCLA examined 600 older adults and found something striking. Those who regularly ate just 2 to 3 processed or convenience foods each day had systolic blood pressure readings that were, on average, 25% higher than the readings of people who mostly chose fresh, minimally processed ingredients. Please understand this important point. Your body is not suddenly failing you out of the blue. These patterns build up very gradually, almost imperceptibly, over many months and years. That's why the very first and most powerful step is awareness. Take just a moment right now to pause and reflect. How many of these types of foods, processed meats, dressings, frozen meals, refined snacks, pickles, sugary drinks, regularly appear in your daily or weekly eating habits? Jot down a quick mental estimate and feel free to share that number or your thoughts in the comments below. To help bring this closer to home, let me share 2 brief but very typical stories from people I've worked with. Mary was 68 years old and genuinely believed she was eating in a healthy way. She walked every single day, completely avoided alcohol, and stayed away from obvious junk food. Yet her blood pressure consistently sat around 145/90 no matter what she tried. When we looked more closely, the hidden sources turned out to be 2 tablespoons of creamy salad dressing, almost every day on her lunch salad, frozen dinners 3 or 4 times each week, and a daily serving of pickles as her afternoon snack. These were small, routine habits, but together they were delivering a surprisingly large sodium and processed food load. After following the fresh protocol consistently for just 4 weeks, her readings dropped to 124/78. The persistent ankle swelling she had dealt with for years disappeared completely, and she reported having noticeably more energy throughout her days. Then there was James, age 72. He loved his sandwiches, took every dose of his blood pressure medication exactly as prescribed, and kept up with regular walking. Still, his numbers hovered stubbornly around 150/88. The main contributors were his daily glass of fruit juice, which he thought was healthy, crackers as an everyday snack, and the occasional frozen dinner when he was tired. After 6 weeks of making targeted, fresh adjustments, including reading labels more carefully, becoming more aware of portions, and choosing smarter swaps, his pressure improved to 128/76. For the first time in a long while, he truly felt like he was back in the driver's seat with his health. These real-life examples show clearly that even modest, focused changes, when applied consistently, can produce meaningful, measurable improvements, often even after many years of feeling discouraged and stuck. Now let's move into the heart of the approach, the FRESH protocol itself. This stands for 5 clear practical steps you can begin implementing right away. Familiarize yourself with your habits. Habitual awareness. Start by simply tracking everything you eat, drink, and snack on for 1 or 2 weeks. Use a small notebook, a phone app, or even just mental notes at first. The goal isn't perfection, it's visibility. When you see your patterns written down, they become much easier to understand and adjust. Many people discover surprising insights within just a few days, and that awareness alone frequently motivates positive shifts. Regulate your portions mindfully, mindful portion control. Even healthy foods can contribute to higher pressure if portions grow too large over time. A simple, effective tool is the plate method. Aim to fill half your plate with non-starchy vegetables, 1/4 with lean sources of protein such as fish, chicken, beans, or tofu, and 1/4 with complex carbohydrates. Research from UCLA demonstrated that people who adopted mindful portion awareness using approaches like this saw an average reduction in systolic blood pressure of about 7 mmHg within only 1 month. Emphasize hydration and heart supportive beverages, hydration and heart friendly drinks. Make a conscious shift away from sugary juices, sweetened teas and sodas toward plain water, unsweetened herbal teas, or naturally infused water. Try adding slices of lemon, cucumber, fresh mint, or berries. Staying consistently well hydrated helps ease the workload on your blood vessels and kidneys, supports better electrolyte balance, and can even improve how effectively your medications function in the body. Swap out refined carbs and added sugars. Reduce refined carbs and sugars. Gradually replace white bread, pastries, cakes, cookies, crackers, and sugary drinks with whole grain alternatives such as oats, barley, brown rice, whole grain pasta, quinoa, fresh berries, and legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas. Whenever possible, pair any carbohydrate with a source of protein or fiber. This helps prevent sharp blood sugar spikes. According to Harvard research, people who made just 2 meaningful whole grain swaps each day experienced an average systolic blood pressure reduction of around 6 mmHg over a 12-week period. Heighten sodium awareness and use flavor alternatives. Sodium awareness. Focus on choosing fresh, whole ingredients whenever you can and get creative with flavor using herbs, spices, fresh garlic, chopped onion, citrus juices, and zest, vinegar, or black pepper instead of relying on packaged sauces, seasoning blends, or heavy salt. The American Heart Association specifically recommends that most older adults aim for no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. Yet large numbers of people unknowingly consume well over 3,000 milligrams daily because of hidden sources in everyday processed items. One of the most encouraging aspects of the FRESH protocol is how quickly positive changes can begin to appear. During the very first week, many people notice a clear reduction in bloating, puffiness, and ankle or hand swelling as sodium awareness starts to take effect. By the second week, blood pressure readings often begin trending downward, and meals continue to feel satisfying and enjoyable. Between weeks 3 and 4, it's common to see drops of 5 to 10 millimeters, sometimes more, along with increased daily energy and a greater sense of lightness. Over the course of several months, your arteries gradually regain some of their natural flexibility. Your heart doesn't have to pump quite as forcefully, and these healthier patterns start to feel automatic rather than effortful. Important reminder, this protocol is meant to support and complement your existing medical care. It is not a replacement for it. Never stop or adjust your blood pressure medications on your own without first discussing any changes with your doctor. If you live with kidney problems, heart conditions, diabetes, or any other chronic health issue, please consult your physician before making substantial shifts in sodium intake, fluid balance, or carbohydrate patterns. The best way to succeed is to start gradually, one small habit at a time, so the changes feel sustainable rather than overwhelming. Set your kitchen up to make good choices easier. Place fresh fruits, vegetables, and heart-friendly items at eye level in the front of the fridge and pantry while moving processed and higher sodium foods to less visible spots. Practice mindful eating whenever possible. Sit down at a table, turn off screens and distractions, take time to really taste and enjoy each bite, and stop eating when you feel comfortably satisfied rather than overly full. Hydration plays a broader role than many realize. It supports healthy kidney function, maintains proper electrolyte levels, and can even influence how well your prescribed medications are absorbed and utilized. Add in a few minutes of simple stress management each day, perhaps 5 minutes of slow, deep breathing or gentle stretching done twice daily. These small practices help lower stress hormones like cortisol, which in turn eases tension in your arteries. Make it a habit to check your blood pressure regularly at home. Consistent home monitoring gives you real time feedback, helps you spot patterns, and provides powerful motivation when you see the numbers moving in the right direction. When you eat out, plan ahead. Look up menus online before you go. Request that sauces and dressings be served on the side, and try to choose lighter options earlier in the day when possible. Bring family members or close friends into the process. They can offer encouragement, accountability, and make the journey more enjoyable. Keep physical movement fun and sustainable. Regular walking, gentle yoga, light resistance exercises with bands, or any activity you genuinely like without pushing yourself to extremes. All of these lifestyle elements work together to amplify the positive effects of whatever medications you may be taking. Set aside just 5 minutes every Sunday for a quick weekly review. Look back at the past week's meals, identify any recurring triggers or slip ups, celebrate what went well, and make a simple plan for the week ahead. Some of the most frequently missed hidden sources include processed meats of all kinds, canned soups and broths, bottled dressings and marinades, most frozen prepared dinners, pickles and olives, refined snack foods, sugary beverages, including many fruit juices, certain higher sodium cheeses, occasional alcohol, and meals eaten at restaurants or takeout places. The good news is that small intentional swaps create surprisingly large positive ripples over time. Tell a trusted friend or family member about your goals. It adds a layer of gentle accountability. Celebrate every small victory along the way. No change is too minor to acknowledge. Remember that literally every single meal you eat either adds a little strain to your cardiovascular system or helps bring relief and balance. Heart healthy choices, when repeated consistently, support more stable blood pressure, more flexible and resilient arteries, steadier energy levels throughout the day, and an overall greater sense of well being. A great many people begin noticing clear, positive differences within just a few short weeks. Don't forget that sleep quality and stress levels also play major roles in blood pressure regulation, sometimes even more than diet alone in certain individuals. Choose one single element from the fresh protocol to focus on starting today. It could be improving your hydration, making one or two refined carbohydrate swaps, practicing more mindful eating, or increasing your awareness of sodium sources. Commit to tracking that one habit diligently for the next 30 days, then review your progress honestly. Once you feel solid with that first change, layer in the next one. Your heart has faithfully carried you through decades of life, through every step, every laugh, every challenge. These gentle, consistent adjustments can help restore its natural flexibility, efficiency, and long term stability. Stand up one more time if you're able. Pay attention once again to how your legs engage, how your balance steadies, and how your heart rate adapts. The everyday foods you choose subtly influence that very response. Right now, one hidden item is almost certainly waiting in your kitchen or fridge. With greater awareness, small intentional actions, and steady commitment, real improvement remains entirely possible, even after years of feeling like nothing was working. Keep those Sunday reviews going. Reflect on meals, spot patterns or triggers, celebrate progress, and plan small adjustments ahead. Share your intentions with someone who cares about you. Every single choice you make either adds strain or offers support. There's no neutral ground here. Sleep well, manage stress thoughtfully, and remember, these pieces matter just as much as the food on your plate. Pick one fresh element today, track it carefully for a full 30 days, then assess and build from there. Your heart has served you loyally for so many years. These modest, doable shifts have the power to help it regain resilience, steadiness, and strength. If you've stayed with me all the way to this point, please type "fresh start" in the comments. Let me know which one habit you're choosing to begin with today, and feel free to come back in 30 days to share how things are going. Your update could genuinely encourage and inspire someone else who is reading this right now. For those refined carbohydrate swaps, excellent options include starting your day with oats or barley, choosing brown rice or whole grain pasta for dinners, enjoying fresh berries as snacks, or adding legumes like beans or lentils to soups and salads. Always try to combine carbs with protein or extra fiber to keep blood sugar steadier. The Harvard data confirms that just 2 such swaps per day can deliver around 6 milliliter lower systolic pressure over 12 weeks. When addressing sodium, prioritize fresh whole foods and experiment with boosting flavor through herbs and spices, fresh garlic and onion, bright citrus, tangy vinegar, or cracked black pepper. Stay as close as possible to the AHA's 1 of 500 milliliters daily recommendation. Far too many people unintentionally go well beyond 3,000 milliliters because of hidden sources. Positive shifts often show up faster than expected. Reduced bloating and swelling usually appear within the first week. Blood pressure begins trending lower, while meals stay enjoyable by week 2, and many people see 5 to 10 mmHg improvements plus renewed energy by weeks 3 and 4. Over several months, arteries tend to become more supple. The heart pumps with less effort, and healthier patterns become second nature. This approach works hand in hand with your current treatment plan. Always talk to your doctor before stopping or changing any medications, and get clearance if you have kidney concerns, heart issues, diabetes, or other conditions before making large dietary shifts. Move forward gradually, one realistic step at a time. Set your kitchen environment up thoughtfully. Keep the healthy choices visible and easy to grab, while placing less supportive items farther back or out of sight. Eat with full attention. Sit at a table. Remove distractions. Savor each bite slowly, and stop when you feel comfortably satisfied. Consistent hydration benefits your kidneys, helps maintain electrolyte balance, and can even improve medication effectiveness. Add short sessions of stress relief, perhaps 5 minutes of deep breathing or light stretching twice a day, to reduce artery constricting stress hormones. Track your home blood pressure readings regularly for valuable insight and encouragement. When dining out, preview the menu in advance, ask for sauces and dressings to come on the side, and try to balance heavier meals with lighter choices earlier in the day. Involve loved ones for support and shared accountability. Choose forms of movement that feel enjoyable and sustainable, whether that's walking, gentle yoga, resistance bands, or anything else that fits your life. These elements all multiply each other's benefits. Your heart has supported you faithfully through every chapter of your life. These small, thoughtful adjustments have real potential to help restore its flexibility, efficiency, and lasting steadiness. If you're ready to begin, type "Fresh Start" below. Share the one habit you'll focus on first, and let's keep this supportive conversation going. Your progress has the power to lift someone else tomorrow. Thank you sincerely for spending this time with me. Your willingness to listen and consider change shows how deeply you care about feeling stronger and more in control. Pick one small, realistic step today. Your body is remarkably capable of responding beautifully to these gentle, consistent efforts. Until we connect again, please take excellent care of that incredible heart of yours.